Hello everyone and welcome back to Three-Legged Dog Yoga. If you are new here, I am Lindsay. This is Chewy. He's very starved for attention right now. And today's class is a full body beginner friendly flow. So you won't need any props necessarily. If you do use any in your daily practice, then I would encourage you to grab those now. Other than that, let's get right to it. So we'll begin today on our backs. So let's find a nice comfortable spot here in the middle of the mat. We'll draw our feet out nice and wide, drop the knees together. One hand comes to the belly, one hand comes to the heart. And we'll just close the eyes here, starting to move inwards. Just feel the gentle rise and fall of the belly on the inhales and on the exhales. And let's slowly start elongating the inhale, so filling the chest and the belly. And then elongating the exhales, exhaling through the mouth. I'll do 3 more just like that on your own time with your own breath. So in through the nose. And match the exhale out through the mouth. Last one. Let's bring the feet back together. Draw the hands around the knees. And we'll draw the chest up, giving ourselves a nice big hug. Release the head. And we'll start rocking the knees. So making circles on the ceiling with the knees going one way. Just massaging out the lower back. And then going the other direction. Finding any spots that might need a little bit extra love and just staying there. And then we'll find our hands behind our thighs and gently rock up to seated. Finding a nice cross-legged position. Take an inhale, roll the shoulders up and back, nice tall spine. Exhale, relax the shoulders down. Big inhale. And as we exhale, let's drop the chest. Start doing some circles with the torsos. Coming across with the exhale, and on the inhale, completing the circle. Just working with your own breath. Again, finding any spots that you might need a little bit of extra love and just pausing there if it feels a little nice. And then pausing when you're back at center, and we will switch sides. Staying with the breath, keeping the movements as fast or as slow as we need. And then eventually finding your way back to seated. Let's spin on the knees, coming through tabletop position. So wrists are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips, and our toes stay tucked. Take a big breath here. And exhale. Next inhale, let's drop the belly, arch the back, look up. And exhale, press the floor away, round it all out. Inhale, drop the belly, arch the back, look up. Exhale, round. 3 more like that on your own breath. Last two, maybe finding any movements your body craves. So maybe just adding some hip rolls, spinal rolls. Just making this practice your own. And when we're finished, we will meet again in tabletop position. Let's take a pause, one big breath, and exhale. Pivot on that right foot. Let's draw that left foot in line with the body. Inhale that left arm up nice and high, coming into our gate posture. So really pressing the floor away with that right hand. Option to reach that left arm over, palm stays facing down. Wherever we are, we're making sure our shoulders are nice and stacked, so we're staying in one nice line here. And our breath is nice and full. Next exhale, let's draw that hand back to the floor, and we will switch sides. So let's pivot on that left foot, draw that right foot out to the end of the mat, straighten the leg, inhale that right arm up nice and high. Once again, option to reach over with that right arm, palm faces down. Feeling the stretch in that whole side body here, really lifting those ribs up towards the ceiling. Breath stays nice and full. And then exhale, let's plant the hand, come back to neutral. Taking a pause here. Next inhale, let's reach that right arm up nice and high. Exhale, thread it underneath the left. That right cheek comes down to the mat. Check in with the hips, make sure they're nice and square. And relax here. See if there's anywhere you're holding tension and just relax. Maybe untucking the toes. Softly press through that left hand to lift us back up to center, and we will set up for the opposite side. So let's start with the toes tucked. Inhale that left arm up nice and high. Exhale, reach it through. Left cheek comes down to the mat. Untuck the toes and check in with the hips. Really relaxing into this posture. Inhale, press through that right hand. Come back to center. Let's walk the hands up slightly, and we'll send the hips back for downward facing dog. So taking a moment, pedal out the feet. Find any movement your body craves here. So maybe sending the hips side to side. And then eventually finding some stillness. So taking a nice big bend through those knees. Pressing the floor away with the hands. Fingertips are pressed firmly into the mat. Gaze between the hands. Let's inhale, step that right foot up. Drop the back knee, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. So if the back knee hurts, you can just flip the mat over once, giving it a little bit of extra padding. If you're good, we'll go up on the inhale, send the arms up nice and high, and then exhale, sink through those hips. That right knee stays tracking over that right ankle. Breast stays full. Fingertips are reaching towards the sky while we draw the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, let's plant the hands, step that foot back. Come back into our downward facing dog. And we will switch sides. So inhale, step that left foot up, drop the back knee, untuck the toes, taking a moment to roll the mat over if you need it. And then on your next inhale, let's raise the arms up nice and high. Exhale, sink through those hips. So hips are staying nice and square here, shoulders are rolled back. Finding a nice spot of focus ahead of you. And then exhale, drop the hands and tuck the back toes rather, and step it back, downward facing dog. Staying here for 2 breaths. Your next inhale, let's take a big step up with that right hand. Right foot, bringing it in between both hands. We'll pivot on the left. So the left foot is facing the short edge of the mat. Right foot is pointing towards the top. Inhale, cartwheel the hands out nice and wide. And then exhale, sink through the hips, coming into our warrior 2. So that right knee is tracking over that right ankle. Shoulders are rolled up and back. Crown of the head stays lifted. Finding a nice spot of focus over that right middle finger. Next exhale, let's bring that right elbow down towards the knee. We're not going to dump into it, so really using the inner thighs, pressing away with that foot. And then inhale, that left arm up and all the way overhead, coming into our side angle. So that left shoulder stays rolled up and out. Right leg stays strong, lots of work in that leg here. And then inhale, straighten that front leg, bring the arms out nice and wide. Reach forward with that right arm, drop it down for triangle. So all we're doing here is stretching that knee, straightening that knee. We're staying in a very similar position. So the shoulders are rolled up and back as if we're in 2 panes of glass. I always want to call them planes, 2 panes of glass. And on your next inhale, let's come back up to center and we'll just release the arms and we'll pivot on the feet. So let's send that left foot out to the top, I guess to the bottom of the mat, and we will pivot on that right foot. So the left heel is in line with the arch of the right foot. Inhale, arms come out nice and wide. Exhale, bend through that front knee. Warrior 2 on the opposite side. Once again, finding that spot to focus. Crown of the head stays lifted and the inner thighs are working. Big inhale. Exhale, let's drop that left arm. And inhale, right arm comes up and over. So once again, keeping that right shoulder rolled up and back. Trying not to dump too much into that left arm. It's more just there as a guide. We're really pressing through that left foot and really engaging the inner thighs. One more inhale here. Exhale, straighten it out. Bring the arms out nice and wide. And we'll reach forward, drop that hand down. Coming into our triangle on the opposite side. So really rolling that upper body, that right shoulder up and back. Gaze can come up to the ceiling or it can stay anywhere the neck is comfy. Let's make sure we're not straining on the neck. Cartwheel the hands, inhale, come back up to center, and we'll just release. Let's just step it in, give the legs a little shake, and take a pause. All right, so let's come into the fun one, the balancing posture. Let's come into our tree pose. So if you're a beginner and you've never done this before, then let's start by shifting the weight into the left foot, and we'll just bring the heel of the right foot up to the shin. We'll start here. Big breath in, torso stays nice and long, and exhale. If you're comfortable here, we'll start just walking that leg up, testing the waters. Try to keep your balance. And if you can come into the full expression, then the inner right foot presses against the inner left thigh. So I shouldn't say the full expression because all of these are versions of tree pose. So wherever we are, let's find a nice spot to gaze ahead of us. Inhale those hands to heart center. Option to reach the arms up overhead. If we're reaching the arms up overhead, just keep that focus. Find that spot to focus. Shoulders are rolled up and back. And then we'll exhale, hands to heart center. Slowly release through that foot. So maybe just slide it down the leg. Awesome. shake it out once again, and we will switch sides. So right foot stays planted, shift the weight in, send that left heel towards the right shin. Stay here if that is enough. Bring the hands to heart center. If you'd like to add on, start drawing that left foot up towards the inner right thigh. And if you'd like to keep adding on, then inhale those arms up nice and high. Breath stays nice and full. Find a spot of focus. Feel into that outer right foot as it works to keep your balance. Exhale, hands back to heart center, and then just slide that foot down. So really working with the balance until you get all the way down. And we will shake it out. Let's just grab a seat on our mat, so it doesn't matter how you get down. We'll face the front of our mats. Taking a big breath in here. And then exhale, let's just send the shoulders back, and as we do so, lift the feet off of the ground for boat. Navasana. So really, really trying to keep a nice tall spine here. The further you lean back, the more intense it gets. So find your happy spot. Option to keep the hands on the legs. One more breath. And then exhale. Relax the feet down, and we'll roll all the way down. So similar to the setup from the beginning of class, but this time we'll keep our feet parallel. Let's inhale that right foot up, cross it over the left leg. Try not to be right on the knee. And then we'll draw that knee up towards us. So for some, you might be able to reach the back of the thigh. Others might be able to reach the shin. Really just work with your own flexibility here. If you can't bring the leg up too far, you can just stay here, keeping that left foot planted. So lots of options here to get that stretch into the right hip. Wherever you are, just breathing, trying to keep that right knee pressing away from the body. And then exhale, release. We will switch sides. So plant the feet. Inhale, left leg comes up, cross it over. And once again, choose your own adventure. So if here is good enough, stay here. If not, you can reach the leg up, grabbing either the back of the thigh or the front of the shin. Wherever you are, trying to press that left knee away from the body. One more big breath here. And then release that leg down. Awesome. So hips stay parallel. Let's once again draw those knees back up into our chest. Distracted by a little dog. Draw that head and neck in. Hugging the knees. And once again, we'll just roll all the way up to seated. Coming into our comfortable seat. Inhale, roll the shoulders up and back. Exhale, draw them down the neck, draw them down the back. Close the eyes. Release any controlled breathing you were practicing. And we'll close the practice here with one cleansing breath. So exhale all the air out. Big inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Softly opening the eyes. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.